Hey, let's get into it. If you've ever planted something, a garden, a tree, even grass seed, you know the tension. You prepare the soil, you put the seed in, and you water it, and then, especially when I plant grass seed, nothing. Day after day, it looks the same. There's no visible change, there's no result. But underneath the surface, if you plant it correctly, something is happening. Roots are forming before anything breaks through. It's kind of patience that James wants to talk to us about here in James 5, 7, and 8. Be patient, therefore, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and late rains. You also be patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. James really shifts his tone here from the last couple of days to here in this passage. He's just confronted injustice, hard, direct, unfiltered, like a sledgehammer. And now he turns to those who are on the receiving end of it. He says, be patient. Be patient until the coming of the Lord. That's not passive language. It's not that we ignore what's happening or pretend that it's all fine. It's a call to endure without giving up our footing. And then he gives this image that his readers would immediately understand, a farmer waiting for the early and the late rains. In that world, you didn't control irrigation systems. You couldn't speed things up. The early rains softened the ground for planting, and the late rains prepared the crop for harvest. And you miss either one, and the whole season suffers. So the farmer works, but then he waits. Not because he's lazy, but because some things can't be rushed. And that is the tension. The faithfulness in those things that we can do, but the patience in the things that we can't control. It's not our time. And James applies that directly. He says, establish your hearts. And that phrase here, it matters because it means to strengthen, to steady, to anchor something, not letting it shift under pressure. Because when life feels slow or unjust or unresolved, the real danger isn't just the situation, it's what can happen inside you. Because impatience really starts to creep in and grow. And then it turns to frustration. And then cynicism can take root. And you start asking, is anything actually changing? Does anything even matter? Does God even notice? Why keep going? And right there, that's where James is aiming. Patience in Scripture is not just waiting for something that we want to happen. It's maintaining who we are. It's being transformed and formed while we wait. Because waiting has a way of revealing what we actually trust. If our hope is tied to the immediate outcomes, then waiting can feel unbearable. But if our hope is anchored in something deeper, who God is, in His timing, in His justice, in His plan, in His ways, then patience is possible. Not easy, but possible. So think about where this shows up in relationships that feel stuck, in prayers that feel and seem completely unanswered, in the growth that just feels way slower than you expected. You're doing the right things, you're showing up, you're staying consistent, and still it feels like nothing is changing. That's where this lands. James says, stay steady. Keep doing what's in front of you. Don't abandon your footing just because you don't see the results yet. Because formation often happens underground first. And James gives the reason why we can wait. He says, the coming of the Lord is at hand. In other words, it's not endless waiting. God sees, God will act, God will complete what He has started. So patience isn't a blind optimism. It's grounded in the confidence the story is still moving forward, even when we can't see it. So today, ask yourself, where am I tempted to give up? Because I'm just not seeing the progress. Maybe for you, that's a visa. Or maybe that's just me. Um, what would it look like to stay steady instead of restless? Where do I need to anchor my heart again? And know that even though I can't see it, God is moving and I can trust Him in His timing and His ways, and maybe He's doing something deeper than we see on the surface. Wherever you find yourself, God goes with you today.